You may have heard that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. But is this really the case? Welcome to Financial Psychology, the place to understand the mindsets of the rich and unlock your wealth potential. In this video, we'll take a look at 11 differences in how wealthy people and poor people manage their money differently. Keep in mind that this is not an exhaustive list, but rather a snapshot of some of the most common differences. So, without further ado, let's get started. Number 1. Budget differently. When you're poor, every penny counts. You have to be very mindful of how you spend your money and make every dollar work for you. That's why poor people have to be experts at budgeting if they don't want to get into crippling debt. Poor people budget based on their income and expenses and try to make savings goals. Rich people have different tactics that help them make and manage their wealth more effectively. They use reverse budgeting, or the practice of paying yourself first. This involves creating a budget based on your savings objectives rather than your spending and expenses. The wealthy pay themselves first by automatically transferring money from their paychecks into retirement accounts, IRAs, and investment accounts. This systematically saves and manages money to secure their futures. This is money they put away and invest with no intention of using it for day-to-day living. Then they are free to spend whatever is left over, knowing their savings plans are taken care of. Number 2. Invest in education. When it comes to their finances, the wealthy invest in themselves. They know that the more they learn, the more opportunities they'll have to make money. That's why they're always reading books, attending seminars, and networking with other successful people. They also know that education doesn't stop when you finish school. In fact, it's just the beginning. That's why the rich are always learning new things, keeping up with the latest trends, and expanding their knowledge. By investing in themselves, they're ensuring that they'll always have the tools they need to make money and maintain their wealth. Poor people tend to view their time as something of limited value and often put little emphasis on education because of the perceived lack of opportunities and resources. This can lead to a lack of motivation, leading them down a path of poverty. Number 3. Different habits to save money. There are a few key ways that wealthy people manage their money differently than the poor. One of the biggest is that they cultivate different habits to save money. They make a point of living below their means and investing their money wisely. That might mean spending less on unnecessary things and investing in assets that will generate passive income. They also tend to be more disciplined when it comes to their spending. They're less likely to buy things on impulse. This allows them to save more money in the long run. Number 4. Invest and build assets. Wealthy people often practice long-term investing and make their money grow over time. By doing this, they are able to get a return on their investments, whether stocks, bonds, or real estate, and they use the proceeds to buy more assets. On the flip side, poor people generally don't focus on long-term investments. Instead, they tend to look for short-term ways of making money and are usually more concerned with their day-to-day expenses. Furthermore, the poor typically put their money into depreciating assets like cars or furniture that will gradually lose value over time. By understanding the differences between the way wealthy and poor people approach finances, you can start to develop a better financial mindset. And who knows? Perhaps one day you'll become one of those wealthy people who are reaping the benefits of long-term investments. Number 5. Luxury spending. The wealthy don't often indulge in luxury spending. They're more likely to make practical investments in things that provide an income, such as rental real estate or a business. The poor, however, are more inclined to spend money on wants instead of needs, such as the latest tech, watches, new cars, designer clothing, and vacations. Poor people who buy luxury items enjoy them for a little while, but they end up causing themselves more stress and go further into debt because they can hardly afford those things to begin with. And they either put it all on a credit card or spend all their money so they have nothing left by the end of the month. The wealthy tend to see their spending decisions as investments rather than purchases, which is something that is essential if you're trying to accumulate wealth. Number 6. Taxes, grants, and loans. Being poor comes at a cost. When it comes to taxes, lower-income people may be eligible for more generous tax credits, deductions, and exemptions than those who earn more money, but they still end up paying more taxes than the rich. Not only that, but poor people also end up getting higher interest rates on loans due to having a poor credit score or not having enough money saved for bigger down payments. Wealthy people make use of the tax benefits, grants, and loans available to individuals based on their income levels. They are well aware of the benefits and advantages that can be gained from these programs, and they make sure to take advantage of them. The rich are able to minimize their tax burden for one key reason: the bulk of their income doesn't come from wages. Rather, it comes from investments. In addition, wealthy people take advantage of grants from their employers or local government agencies that cover tuition fees for higher education. And when it comes to financing for investments, wealthy individuals may have access to lower interest rates or even no interest loans because of their higher credit score. This can help them secure funding much faster than the average person when looking to invest in new business opportunities. By educating yourself and learning about how to take advantage of all the tax benefits, grants, and loans that are out there, you can help ensure your own financial stability and growth, just like wealthy people do. Number 7. Invest in health. The wealthy understand the importance of having quality health. That's why they don't simply rely on insurance to stay healthy, but invest in their own well-being as well. They understand that taking advantage of preventative care is cheaper than dealing with health issues down the line. They frequently visit the doctor for regular checkups, something that many poor people simply cannot afford. They take supplements and pay attention to their nutrition, exercise regularly, and get the right amount of sleep. Wealthy people see all of these practices as investments in their future self. They know that they can't work if they're not healthy, so it pays to stay on top of their well-being now. Number 8. TV. You might want to reconsider your daily television habit. Wealthy people don't waste their valuable time watching TV because they are already busy setting and achieving their financial goals. TV can be an emotional trap that keeps you from reaching your full potential. It's often a distraction from the hard work needed to build long-term wealth. Instead of watching news and TV shows, successful people focus on reading books, listening to podcasts, or learning something new, or engaging in activities that increase their knowledge and skills. These activities are much more beneficial in helping you reach your financial goals than any amount of time spent in front of the tube. So if you want to start building wealth, it's time to turn off the TV and start investing that energy into higher growth activities. Number 9. Wake up early and have discipline. If you want to join the ranks of the wealthy, one thing you'll definitely have to do is to start waking up early and with more discipline than most people. Rich people know that waking up early is the key to success, and doing so allows them to take advantage of more of the day. They are also disciplined enough to stick with a plan, something that many people aren't able to do. They set goals, make a plan for how they're going to achieve those goals, and stick with it, no matter how tough things get. Rich people also understand the importance of self-discipline when it comes to dealing with money. They know how easy it is to overspend or make impulse purchases, so they make sure they always keep a close eye on their spending and work hard not to become complacent. Number 10. Take control rather than being victims. The wealthy understand that they have control over their lives and take active steps to create the lives they want. They don't sit back and act like victims of circumstance, but rather actively navigate life with purpose and intention. This means that they set goals and work hard to achieve them, which sets them up for financial success. Rich people also don't wait for handouts and are willing to take risks if it means the potential for greater financial reward. They know that taking calculated risks can pay off in the long run, so they don't shy away from this kind of thinking. Ultimately, wealth isn't something that is simply handed over, but rather something that must be earned through hard work, smart decisions, and taking control of your own destiny. Number 11. Stay in rich social circles. The wealthy are rarely found in the company of people who are struggling financially. That's because there's a lot of truth to the saying, "Show me your friends, and I'll tell you who you are." Just as birds of a feather flock together, so do wealthy people. Wealthy people tend to surround themselves with other wealthy people who create wealth-producing conversations, share helpful resources, and offer them more opportunities for building more wealth. Have you heard the phrase, "You are the average of the 5 people around you"? It means that if you surround yourself with wealthy people, you will become one too. So if you want to be wealthy, start by surrounding yourself with these types of individuals and try to learn from their experiences and actions. You don't have to become like them or imitate them, but at least it'll give you an opportunity to learn from them and figure out how they made their money and how they make it work harder. The next time you feel like you can't break the cycle of being poor, remember that the wealthy have conditioned themselves to do things differently. They've learned how to make and manage their money, and they're not held back by the same mental and emotional blocks as the poor. There's no shame in admitting that you need help, and by following the same tips and tricks used by the wealthy, you can start to see a real change in your financial situation. It won't happen overnight, but with some patience and hard work, you'll be on your way to a better financial future. Take care. Thank you for spending some time with us today at Financial Psychology. We're so glad you did. And if you found value in today's video, please hit that bell icon to never miss an upload. And hey, don't forget to subscribe.